my remarks are very short. I just wanted to welcome everybody to our English graduation, well, semi-little graduation celebration here for our seniors, and from this crazy year. I want to just do a quick special thank you to the people who made this possible. It's going to seem funny to thank Sam right now for all her special work putting this together when the link did not work, but she did a lot of work for this. So thank you, all the faculty who wrote for our students, and then all the people who are here now tonight to read and to celebrate with us. And then Alyssa, our English ADA, has put all these slides that you'll see tonight on they are on our English department homepage. So if you want to take a look, and you'll see, if you want to get what somebody said, they're all actually on the website, so you can take a look at them. So I just wanted to thank everybody who could be here tonight to celebrate the achievements of our graduates. I know this has been a year like absolutely no other, and just making it through this year, we deserve a celebration, and our graduates have done so much more. I just want to just acknowledge that it can be difficult to feel just the pure elation that we would like to maybe feel, because so many of us have faced loss this year, and isolation, and struggles of all kinds that some of them are still ongoing. So I wanted to take a moment to just acknowledge really the kind of trauma of this year that we've been through, so that when we celebrate your achievements, we can go forward in the full awareness of what they may have cost us. I'm really truly grateful that we're all here to be able to connect in this joyful celebration. And really, connection is what it's all about. Although you're graduating and going off into the world, don't forget the network of friends and professors and professor friends that you have here, because we are still going to be here. These relationships are just going to grow and change over the years. Practically, this means that all of you can come back and ask us for references or for advice about things. And then also just know that it brings a lot of joy to us to hear about your achievements as you go forward too. So graduate school acceptances, careers, families, all of the things that you might want to celebrate, we would want to celebrate them with you. So I just want to make sure we try and keep these connections. So I want to also say that your professors have been thinking a lot about all of you and reflecting on your time with us as English majors. So we want to let you know tonight how much we appreciate and respect you, and really how proud you are that you not only survived your time in college and this horrible last year, but you really knocked us out. So how about just, I was gonna say, a round of applause if we can for our graduates as we start our program tonight.
Thank you so much, Margaret. So we're going to read each of you off in alphabetical order. We've got majors and minors mixed together, so just expect yourself to show up in alphabetical order by last name. You can feel free after we finish announcing and talking about each of the graduates. When we're done with each graduate, if you want to unmute your mic or applaud in the chat, you're welcome to do so. You will hear, as Margaret said, words from all of us about you. So most of us will be reading our own words. We will also be occasionally voicing the words of folks who couldn't be here with us tonight, but you'll hear a lot of praise and a lot of good memories, and we hope you will enjoy. So I will go ahead and let Ron kick it off with our first graduate.
Sure, sounds great. I don't think Nick is here tonight because he's probably working on his portfolio for my class, which is late. But I love Nick. With his playful wit, his startlingly capacious mind, I think Nick knows everything, and that dazzling mop of hair, if you've seen him this semester. Nick has been a delight to have in our classes. We're so pleased that he brought his encyclopedic knowledge of film with him when he left the A&C building to join his fellow English minors and majors studying English and creative writing. I know that I will miss Nick very much, as will the rest of us.
Congrats, Nick.
Next is Aaron Beecher. And Erin is earnest, unflinchingly honest, and ever insightful. You couldn't ask for a better person to talk about literature and philosophy with than Erin. And he roots his ideas in careful reading and respect for intellectual traditions, a respect he's always shown for his classmates as well. May your next stop in Florida be as fruitful as your studies have been, Erin.
And I would like to add that Aaron has been a deeply thoughtful member of the Writing Center team. He strives to improve at all times. His approach is deliberate, but he welcomes feedback and works to get better at his writing, thinking, and communicating. I think that's sometimes a rare trait. This desire sits at the core of Aaron's character and has enriched his contributions to the Writing Center team. We'll miss you a lot, Aaron. Thanks so much. Congratulations, Aaron.
Congrats, Erin.
Next graduate is Autumn Christensen. Pascal and I wrote this together, so we're going to trade off. Autumn Christensen is a scintillatingly talented individual, as anyone who saw her as Ariel in The Tempest or Adriana in The Comedy of Errors knows. But she also has the quiet curiosity of the best students and the drive to actualize that curiosity in the real world.
Case in point, on the second night of a study abroad in London, we ran into Autumn at Piccadilly Circus Station, which is actually a very hard thing to do. Late at night, returning from a Harold Pinter play she'd gone to by herself out of dedication to her craft. While most of the rest of the students were sticking close to the hotel at the other end of the city, still acclimating, Autumn exuded self-possession and savvy, fully at home amid the thronging crowds, a strong indication, we think, of her star potential.
Yeah.
I would add that Autumn's polished public speaking skills and fine-tuned interpretive abilities make her a natural leader in the classroom. She combines these traits with generosity and enthusiasm that wonderfully betray her talent for acting. Break a leg on Chicago's stages, Autumn.
Put my photo or not, Mama? It's still my master's.
And doesn't appear that Jarrett is with us, but I know that everybody knows Jarrett, so I'll read a little bit my words about her. Always inquisitive, willing to challenge, a real spark plug in class discussions. Jarrett helped make everyone in class think harder and better.
I wish I would have thought of that word spark plug, Roberta. It's an apt one. Jarrett exudes a rare combination of seriousness and whimsy that often graces her writing and makes her an ideal peer in an English classroom. She clearly loves being a student and working with her classmates, and she's never afraid to tackle tough themes and material. All of this will serve you well in whatever comes next, Jarrett. Yay, Jarrett. It's me again. We're on to Natalie Dillon. Natalie, I think also cannot be with us tonight. I'm pretty sure she had a softball conflict. The UWO softball team is forging ahead into the, I think, the finals here. This is the into the semifinals right now. But so Natalie has been very busy at the end of the semester with softball. Natalie's talents with poetry are a testament to her intellectual curiosity. Though she confesses she didn't like poetry when she started college, she's become a master at close reading, challenging contemporary verse, and writing memorable poems herself. Her insights always spark conversation, and she's a powerful advocate for causes she cares about. Good luck in your new job at Epic, Natalie.
Natalie is one of those students who has a thinking face, the kind of face that teachers quickly come to feel grateful for. As with Natalie, it usually means that she is about to say something intelligent and considered that will move the conversation forward.
Natalie has an extraordinary sense of ethics, of how to read things in terms of justice, while managing the rare feat of tempering that intensity with notable kindness, both in the classroom with her peers and in her own writing.
not to mention the amazing work she's done over the years. I think she did this for 3 years to refine the work of other student scholars in her role as student editor of the Oshkosh Scholar, work in which her thoughtful, ethical talents have been on full display.
Yay, Natalie, even though she's not here.
Most of our folks who aren't here will watch this later, so we can still
Exactly.
applaud them very heartily and know that they'll see us applauding later on.
Of course.
And I have the amazing pleasure of congratulating Heidi Doctor. Heidi's made deep contributions to the work and intellectual lives and success of countless writers who visited the Writing Center. Heidi's leadership indelibly marked the paths of Titan Advantage program students, graduate students in various programs, students across the spectrum of majors and minors. Heidi demonstrates flexibility and quick thinking and is a dependable and reliable role model who will be deeply missed.
And I also get to speak to Heidi, a gifted reader and writer. Heidi offered nuanced readings of difficult texts that knocked the socks off everyone in class, and her own writing is equally impressive. Heidi has a lot to say, is willing to say it, and does so in a way that makes us all take notice. She will continue to do us proud. Congratulations, Heidi. And then I have the great pleasure of speaking about Max Gabriel Helm, who will graduate this summer. And Max is a most generous member of any class, generous in sharing his own ideas and engaging with others' ideas. His great empathy makes him not only a terrific reader, but also, as I learned in the English capstone course, a wonderful creative writer whose characters are compelling in their full human complexity. I also read what Carl Bohler offered about Max. Max is a very smart student who is able to use his interest in history to great effect, one who can write with insight and passion about topics that interest him. I truly wish that I had had an entire semester of face-to-face classes with Max, Carl writes. I would have liked to have seen how his love of French and history would have enriched the class if we had all been together experiencing our material, especially Chrétien de Troyes, in a more personal setting. Congratulations, Max.
All right, it is my pleasure to speak about Melody Geffert. Melody brings kindness and grace to everything she does, along with absolute brilliance. When she raises her hand to contribute to class, there is a 50-50 chance that you're getting either a fresh perspective that never occurred to you or the exact conclusion that you were really hoping but honestly not daring to expect that your students would reach. And I will also read what Laura Jean Baker wrote about Melody. She says, "Be cautious not to mistake Melody's placid demeanor as shyness. In writing, as in life, she is sharp as a jigsaw and smart as a tuning fork. Her memoir reveals that she's endured greater loss than the surface reveals. Simply put, she's managed her grief with such maturity, intelligence, and ferocity, we'd be hard-pressed to find a more resilient student in our program."
And I'm unusually going to add a third one because though I have not had the pleasure of having Melody in class, given the talent, initiative, problem-solving acumen, and all-around competence, the list could go on, I've witnessed from her in her role as senior editor of the Wisconsin Review. I can only imagine that her scholarly achievements are impressive. The brilliant latest issue of the Review, volume 53, issue 2, is hot off the press this week, and it literally only exists because of Melody's heroic efforts. She has been the savior of the magazine during this pandemic year, so I wanted to give her a special shout out for that. Coming to a newsstand near you.
Yay, Yay Melody!
And I have the pleasure of congratulating Rachel Gramlow, who is a spirit that immediately recharges others she works with, an invaluable characteristic as she has worked with writers in the Writing Center. Rachel is a conscientious listener whose deep encouragement of others allows them to reach beyond what they thought they were capable of. Her analytical nature models for others potential journeys of their thinking and knowing of themselves that help them achieve all that they're capable of. Her contributions to the Writing Center have been deeply felt. Thank you so much, Rachel.
Sorry, failing to unmute myself. I've been able to also feel Rachel's contributions to the Writing Center, having experienced her help with a lot of my students, but I also want to speak to her as a student. Rachel just has a rhizomatic mind. That was the best word I could think of to describe it. She just digs in and stretches out shoots in every direction, seeking connections and just having this curiosity and knack for interdisciplinarity like few students I've known. It's just an absolute privilege to witness the care that Rachel puts into cultivating her ideas and words, as well as into guiding the ideas and words of others. So congratulations, Rachel.
So Deja's another one of our English minors. Deja's been an energetic and gifted leader in a wide variety of roles at UW Oshkosh. She started her own vegan lip gloss company as a student. She served as the president of the Black Student Union. She also worked as a manager on duty at the Gruenhagen Conference Center. And we were certainly thrilled that she brought her energy and charisma to our English classes as an English minor as well. And I can still remember the very racy story she wrote in the fiction writing class she took with me. And maybe some of you fellow students remember it as well. It was kind of like a telenova. Very racy, very fun, and it really fit with Deja's energy and temperament.
I had the privilege of having Deja in 281 way back when, and I looked back at her writing and saw that in her very first essay for that class, she wrote that, quote, "Writing is about constant self-development." And I think we've all really enjoyed watching her enact this belief. In her words and in her actions, Deja shows us that successful people are never done improving themselves. So congratulations, Deja. And I'm going to stick around here to celebrate Megan Krusitsky. Megan is another one that I had the privilege of having way back at the beginning of her English career in 281. Megan has such profound dedication to learning and growing. From the start of her English major, she really gave 110% effort at all times. And it gives me so much joy to think of all the young people who are going to be Megan's students, and they're going to get to learn from the example of her effort and dedication, as well as blossom within her deep and beautiful kindness. So I'm very happy to see Megan graduating here. And I'm also going to read some words about Megan from Robert Feldman. Robert says, "Megan was a delight to have in class because she was engaged in our discussions of the literary works. She always offered a fresh perspective on the poems, short stories, essays, and novels that we were studying and analyzing." Megan, we're so proud of you. Congratulations.
Yay, Megan.
So another talented radio, TV, film major poached by our creative writing minor, Rachel Lucas has excelled in her RTVF work behind the camera and in the technical realm of video production and editing. A regular member of the UW Oshkosh Dean's List, Rachel has helped to raise the group GPA in our creative writing classes, where she produced beautiful, emotionally moving work. And this semester, I really enjoyed having her in class. A bio Autumn Sean has written about Rachel, how great it's been working with Rachel Lucas. Rachel's humor and joy of learning was always palpable in person and in the classroom. She always demands the best of herself, and she knows how to bring out the best in others. And for next steps, Rachel is doing an internship at Peninsula Filmworks. Congratulations, Rachel.
And now it's our turn to speak of Tabitha Nash. So in the words of Laura Jean Baker, Tabitha Nash gives new meaning to good nature. There was never a classroom Tabitha inhabited that wasn't made sunnier for her disposition. From her anthropomorphic story occupying a dog's perspective to her poetry of clouds, Tabitha reminds us that we came to study English first for pleasure and comfort. Analysis should always be secondary to joy. Congratulations, Tabitha.
It's my honor now to congratulate Burgundy Pendragon, who has a triple major in English, biology, environmental studies with a minor in creative writing and a certificate in LGBTQ studies. And I had the pleasure of working with Burgundy for the first time this semester. I'm going to channel words here from Carl Bowler. First of all, Burgundy brings a wide array of experiences, opinions, and perspectives into the classroom and is willing to share these all with the class. It is always wonderful to have students who bring other views to the literature we read, and thanks to Burgundy's interest in the earth sciences and social justice, classes are always privy to different ways of looking at our materials. And Laura Jean Baker adds, in a world plagued by lies, fake news, and insincerity, Burgundy Johnson should be our litmus test for authenticity. Their heart is so pure and true, friends and classmates feel near bashful around Burgundy as we become so unaccustomed to realness. As an accomplished writer, thinker, and activist, Burgundy also reminds us that environmental science is the science of optimism, which is why this field, along with English, comes so naturally to Burgundy. In a dark and cynical world, Burgundy fills our glasses more than half full. And Burgundy will be continuing to work on writing projects and eventually plans to go to grad school and hopefully work in community development and urban agriculture. Here's to Burgundy. Congrats.
So, executive producer of a Titan TV show about new music called Breaking Sounds, known for his collection of pop culture t-shirts, particularly those celebrating rock bands, Franklin Roberts is another radio, TV, film major who brought his talents to our English minor in creative writing. In our classes, Franklin displayed his range as a talented writer of fantasy and as a helpful, enthusiastic editor who never met a story he did not want to revise. And I greatly always appreciated Franklin's contributions in class this semester. Laura Jean Baker also writes of Franklin, he appears intimidating on the surface with his long hair and flinty martial arts postures in the classroom, but I guarantee nobody will make you laugh the way Franklin does. His best creative images include a headless scuba diver, a boy fighting a literal Cold War from atop an elementary school snow fort, and a factory worker making cardboard castles on an assembly line. Dual master of subtext and hyperbole, Franklin is less than intimidating. He is a sight and sound for sore senses. Congratulations, Franklin.
And I have the pleasure of introducing and congratulating Jake Romanesco, another minor in creative writing with earning a BS in history. And Abayo Animashan has this to say about Jake. Jake Romanesco is a philosopher in training. He was always among the people in my classes with the vision and the eloquence to see and ask the probing and necessary questions that are often overlooked. He was a superb student who worked well with teachers and peers. And Laura Jean Baker had this to say. Jake Romanesco is so thoughtful, he might be mistaken for a philosopher, I see a theme here, or a monk, but his memoir narratives demonstrate he is certainly no hermit, living his life to the fullest, leaving no question or temptation unanswered. Jake is also about as open-minded as a student comes regarding politics, religion, and social issues. If ever the world needs a mediator, they better call Jake. Congratulations, Jake.
It is my distinct pleasure to celebrate Macrina Shrine now. I can mention Macrina's name to literally any professor who's ever worked with her and just watch their day improve right before my eyes. And I've found this reassuring, honestly, because I would otherwise suspect that I just dreamed up an imaginary perfect honors thesis advisee. So thank you, everyone, for reassuring me that Macrina is in fact real. We are truly, truly fortunate that Macrina has chosen English to be at the center of her boundless passion, joy, and gratitude for learning.
And as we see, Macrina's next steps are to work as a paralegal while preparing to apply for law school or graduate school. You can see why when Macrina was in my 281 class way back when, I already then found her to be a consummate professional, is what I remember thinking. She demonstrates self-awareness, compassion for others. She selects her commitments carefully so she can give her all to each one. Her inner thought life enriches others. She's fiercely analytical and boasts an exacting nature. Macrina reaches high and brings us all along on her journey upward. She's been a fantastic asset to our program. Thanks, Macrina, for sharing yourself with us. And anyone who knows Kaya Snyder knows that she embodies the educator. Her very core seeks to help others understand and grow. She models a spirit of curiosity and growth. She intuitively breaks down tasks and concepts in ways that makes them clear for others. Kaya has a deep compassion for those she works with and consistently gives of herself even during the most challenging of times. She's been a tremendous asset to the Writing Center as well as others in her classes in the program in English. And she also was in the UW Fox Cities Writing Center and in classes before. We've been very fortunate to have Kaya on our team and in our program here at the Oshkosh campus. Bill Gillard also congratulates Kaya, noting that she's a talented creative writer and creative thinker who got her start at the mighty Fox Cities campus. She kept her classmates enthralled with her stories and brought a lot to the table each day in class. Best of luck, Kaya. Woo!
So while the poll is unofficial, the English department has selected English minor Carter Uslabar, prolific blogger, editor-in-chief of the Advanced Titan, and prolific writer, most likely to be the editorial page editor of the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal someday. He may also become a famous blogger. We're just not sure yet. I think Carter has written more words than any other English major or minor on our campus. He is writes crazy amounts of text. I've loved having him in class. Congratulations, Carter.
Kayla Vanderwielen is multifariously interested and invested, giving fresh, more grown-up meaning to the word precocious. The conversation at hand often isn't enough for her. She loves to inject unexpected flashes of the biblical or mythological, or just plain unpredictable, into the proceedings, out of what I've learned to see as a lovable earnestness and openness to the world. She's a student of talent and imagination whom we hope will bring a welcome bit of gentle chaos to her dream career in the legal profession. And Bill Gillard had this to say.
Kayla is an academic force of nature. If there is such a thing as a scholarly tsunami, that's Kayla. It was all I could do to keep up with her during her aptly named independent studies, as she roamed the known universe throughout all of recorded time to explore the literary roots of the big ideas she immersed herself in. I am grateful to have shared the journey with her for a little while. She is off to do great things in the world.
Congratulations, Kayla.
The first draft is just you telling yourself the story. This quote from Terry Pratchett is one that Shwara shared with me recently. It reflects the reflective, iterative work of writing, a process mirrored in our becoming as human beings. Shuara not only has traced and retraced a path for herself intellectually, but also has invited countless others to engage in this work as she encouraged them and walked alongside them in the Writing Center and also in her classes with you all in English. Shuara's motivational ways of being and knowing model for others how to be better versions of themselves. You've been amazing to have with us, so we're excited to see you off on your journey. A bio notes what a delight it was working with Shuara all these years. From her love of animals to her love of the Nintendo Switch, Shuara came into each class with a true sense of wonder and a searching spirit. For her, each class was a calling. I think it's wonderful that she'll be attending the creative program at UW Milwaukee for poetry. Congratulations, Shuara.
I have the pleasure of speaking to the talents and character of Madison Warren, who I first became acquainted with quite a while back in English 204. And I'd like to say that Madison's infectious good humor is now bound to energize high school English classrooms, where she will no doubt continue to help others improve their writing with the same gentle and earnest dedication she always showed to her classmates at UWO. Good luck teaching, Madison. And Sam would like to add some words as well.
So there are amazing students, and then there are Madison level amazing students, ones who not only lead the pack in effort and curiosity and positive attitude, but do so while toting a progressively larger and larger belly to class. She really put me to shame when it came to pregnancy energy, let me tell you. I'm still not over my amazement at her finishing her entire senior seminar project a month early at full exceptional quality, so that she could turn her attentions to her adorable daughter. She is literally unstoppable. And I also have a note here from Diane Crotty saying, I am privileged to have been a small part of your UW Oshkosh education, Madison. You cheerfully gave 100% to each part of your life and succeeded in them all. You, Tyler, and Adeline make such a sweet family. Congrats on graduating UWO and becoming a loyal Spartan. And as Diane says here, Madison will be teaching English at Oshkosh North full time. So congratulations, Madison. We're so proud of you.
And last but not least, we have another minor, Kyle Winnick, who is majoring in radio, TV, film. And Carl Bowler has this to say about Kyle. Kyle was an integral part of a Arthurian romance in the unfortunately COVID-shortened in-class portion of 2020's spring semester. But he has a large and bright personality that imbues the class with warmth, adding to both discussion and camaraderie. While he is obviously a bright and thoughtful student, he is equally importantly a student who makes the class livelier and more interesting. So congratulations, Kyle. Everyone, let us now give our wonderful graduates one last round of applause for a job exceptionally well done. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today and for making this a memorable event. And I do want to extend a special thank you once again to Dr. Sam Looker-Koenigs, who played a very large role in making this evening happen. So that ends our formal program. But if folks have time to stay online, some of us would very much like to continue this celebration, to share a few memories perhaps. And we'd also love to hear more about what our graduates' future plans are.